The Sunday school lesson for April the 14th, 2024 is Jesus' authority over demons. Mark chapter 9, verses 14 through 29. Welcome, viewers and subscribers, to my channel, The Backstory and More. I am Audrey. If you are new here, please know that if you are interested in knowing what happens before each Sunday school lesson, you are at the right place. I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. Let's begin. The backstory. The backstory takes us to the Transfiguration, Luke chapter 9, verses 2 through 13. After 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John with him and led them up a high mountain where they were all alone. There he was transfigured before them. His clothes became dazzling white, whiter than anyone in the world could bleach them. And there appeared before them Elijah and Moses, who were talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He did not know what to say. They were so frightened. Then a cloud appeared and covered them, and a voice came from the cloud, "This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him." Suddenly, when they looked around, they no longer saw anyone with them except Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus gave them orders not to tell anyone what they had seen until the Son of Man had risen from the dead. They kept the matter to themselves, discussing what rising from the dead meant. And they asked him, "Why do the teachers of the law say that Elijah must come first?" Jesus replied, "To be sure, Elijah does come first and restores all things. Why then is it written that the Son of Man must suffer much and be rejected? But I tell you, Elijah has come, and they have done to him everything they wished, just as it is written about him." The backstory ends and the lesson begins. Verses 14 through 16. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him saluted him. And he asked the scribes, "What question ye with them?" Verses 17 through 18. And one of the multitude answered and said, "Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit. And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth, and gnasheth with his teeth, and penneth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not." Verses 19 through 20. He answered him and saith, "O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me." Verses 21 through 22. And he asked his father, "How long is it ago since this came unto him?" And he said, "Of a child, and oftentimes it hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Verses 23 through 24. Jesus said unto him, "If thou canst believe, All things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. Verses 25 through 26. When Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried, and rent him sore, and came out of him. And he was as one dead, insomuch that many said, He is dead. Verses 27 through 28. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, his disciple asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing, but by prayer and fasting. A brief summary. As they were coming down the mountain, Peter, James, and John were surely on sensory overload. They understood, but just barely. Jesus had told them not to broadcast the news of this event until after he had risen from the dead, an idea that troubled them. So, with these issues still in their minds, they came to the foot of the hill. Immediately, they were in the midst of a squabble. Certain teachers of the law were criticizing the disciples for their inability to cast a demon from a man's son. Jesus responded to the Father by encouraging an absolute trust in him. The Father expressed faith and asked Jesus to help him overcome any doubt he had. What a remarkable example for us today. Matthew's account of this event includes a gentle rebuke of the disciples. They could not cast out the demon because they had so little faith. Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. They suffer the same problem as the boy's father. They believe, but there is still unbelief. Thank you so much for watching. Join me soon for the next backstory and more. And remember that every Sunday at Central Standard Time at 1 o'clock, I will post a video for the upcoming Sunday school lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and may God bless.